We'll take a minute for our audience to join us. Jen, can you please check whether we have a good audience now?
It does appear that some of the folks are joining in. I think we're good.
So it seems our audience has joined us today. Good evening and welcome to the Persecution Report. I'm your host, Tonoy Emroz Alam, member of the editorial board of BD Digest. Tonight's episode has a title that should make every civilized person stop cold: Erasing a Generation. A generation of young people who are systematically persecuted because they are members of Bangladesh Student League. Not political hyperbole, erasure, deliberate, organized, and ongoing. Young men and women who dare to have a political identity and their students are being hunted, murdered, raped. In many cases, their parents were killed because of the political identity of their children. Joining me today, Saddam Hussein, the president of Bangladesh Student League, and Anwar Salat Jihan, an aerospace engineer and a columnist from Bangladesh Observer. Jihan, would you like to take us through the situation? Would you like to give us a presentation of the situation, please?
Thank you, Tonoy Bhai, and thank you, Mr. Hussain, for your time. Tonight's episode, the title, Erasing a Generation, it says a lot. This is what we're looking at tonight. We're not talking about any political dispute or not about any friction between two student factions. We're talking about deliberate, organized, ongoing crackdown on a significant portion of the young population of Bangladesh. As you can see, 5 crore, that is 50 million young Bangladeshis who woke up on the morning of August 5th, 2024 as members, leaders, and supporters of Bangladesh Student League, an organization that helped build Bangladesh, an organization that stood in front of guns in 1971 so that Bangladesh, the nation, could exist. By nightfall, on that very day, every single one of them had become a target. Before this episode is over, you will know their name, you will know what was done to them, you will know who is responsible. The numbers on the slides are not any abstract numbers or not merely numbers. They are charge sheet. 5 crore Bangladesh Student League members, overnight rendered outsiders in their own land, became alienated by an unconstitutional illegal government and through an executive order, a gadget notification. We have never seen such incident in the history of Bangladesh. Now, before I go further, let me remind our audience about who is actually Bangladesh Student League and why this persecution matters. Bangladesh Student League was founded by the father of the nation of Bangladesh, Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, on 4th January 1948. This organization fought for Bangladesh's right to exist before the nation itself did. Student League students were on the front lines of the 1971 Liberation War. This organization sacrifice is written into Bangladesh's founding history. So, what happened on August 5th, we all know by now that it was an international conspiracy and from alliances of entire Bangladesh. And for Bangladesh, pro-Bangladesh group is Bangladesh Chhatra League. If you attack Bangladesh, you have to attack the vanguard of Bangladesh, Bangladesh Chhatra League. And when I talk to Chhatra League, what has happened to them and what has been happening to them, the first name that comes to my mind is Masood of Rajshahi. Masood of Rajshahi, a student league leader who had nothing to do with politics after August 5th. He suffered catastrophic injury from attacks from Shibir prior and lost one of his legs. He posted on Facebook that he became a father of a newborn baby. He went outside to purchase medicine for his baby when he was attacked by violent mob and his life was taken away. Shamim Ahmed, former organizing secretary of Jahangirnagar University Uni, faced similar sort of fate. Throughout Bangladesh, in a systematic pattern, there have been hundreds of Masoods, including the president of Bangladesh Student League, Saddam Hussein, who is now living in exile. I think it started with the fake murder charges and issuing a warrant on him. And this pattern continued through the very root level. Thousands of
We
studies
have
have
a noise coming from background. Is it you or it's Saddam? Yeah, now,
I
now
think
it's good. Please go on. Now it's good. Thank you.
so. The mob violence that Student League faced. Besides that, they have been still facing legal abuse. What the unconstitutional Yunus government did, PMP is following the same route. Slapping fake charges, making them alien in their own country. And then there is academic degree cancellation. Dhaka University cancelled the certificate of 128 students, Jahangirnagar University 289, RUET 48, and there are many more. I'm sure that Mr. Hussain will have better update and better number on that. Now, why it matters? Because Student League is the vanguard of Bangladesh. They were important force during the independence war of Bangladesh. So the ban on them, the unlawful ban without any process, obviously matters because they will talk about the right of Bangladesh. But what we have seen previously is that the Western medias and Western so-called human rights organization, they would raise serious noise about small things in Bangladesh. But right now, when hundreds of Masoods are being killed unlawfully, they seem to issue some statement and that's about it. There is no follow-up. There is no sanction on this unlawful, unjust action. So, Mr. Alam, Bangladesh Student League is facing a multi-vector attack from all fronts. And it is time that international communities, our diaspora, and also the people inside take a stand and raise their voice. Back to you.
Prominent student leader of recent history in Bangladesh. And you are the president of Bangladesh Student League right now, cruising the organization at a very difficult time. The members of your organization have been murdered, imprisoned without trial, academically cancelled, and in some documented cases, their families, their parents are being killed. As president of Bangladesh Student League, what is the scale of what you are witnessing, and what does it feel like to lead an organization that is being hunted?
Thank you for having me, and also a nice presentation from Mr. Anwar Sadat Jihan. He documented all the relevant factors. And after 5th August 2024, Bangladesh Students League faced a nightmare of selective justice, nightmare of mob rule, nightmare of systematic persecution, actually. And after banning it in October 24 under anti-terrorist law, that the whole state system is threatening the life, the right to education, democratic rights, citizens' rights. Every sort of right is cutting just for being a Bangladesh Students League member. And why our party is banned? It is not actually explained. It is not answered, and it is totally baseless. It is totally unjustified. Just for simply supporting a democratically elected government, the previous Yunus regime banned our organization. And that under anti-terrorist law, Bangladesh Students League is now a banned organizations, but who are internationally documented terrorist organizations, they are getting all sort of political sponsorship, state sponsorship. They become legal, and they are doing whatever they like. They have greater linkage with the other, the regional terrorist networks. And on the other side, Bangladesh Students League's member is facing every sort of problems. And we have also seen in the presentation that right now, more than 500,000 students is out of campus, actually, whether it is university, colleges, madrasas, even school. Just for being affiliated with the Awami League members, or just for his parents maybe a Awami League leader or activist, he has no right to participate in the SSC or HSC exam. The persecution, the systematic persecution, the level is such extreme. 5 lakh students is out of campus, and that the certificate cancellation, just maybe you have passed 5 years ago, 10 years ago, but now suddenly you came to know that you have no certificate. You have no certificate, and whatever you earned by your continuous struggle, by passing every sort of exams, all things came to zero. And more than 15,000 students' certificates had been cancelled.
Do you have a certificate now? What about you? Do you have a certificate, or your certificate is cancelled as well?
That I am a student of Dhaka University. I passed LLB and LM from Dhaka University, and I was also doing my masters in development studies. But not only me, more than 400 students actually in the presentation. That is, first they cancelled 128 students studentship, and after that they said more than 428 students actually they cancelled that studentship. They cancelled my studentship like other students league members. So this is continuously happening in Bangladesh, and the education.
Did they issue you a letter, or did you get a fair hearing that why they cancelled you? Did you get a hearing that they'll issue you a letter or any kind of notification?
There is no due process. That there is no show cause notice. There is no chance of saying my part of history and whatever the actual events are. So this is actually a persecution, systematic persecution, actually a kangaroo trial, and the decisions are made by the government actually. Educational institutions, they are just part of the state machinery right now. And educational institutions are not educational institutions right now. They become a hostile zone that is a battleground for exclusion. You have no rights to participate in the ongoing democratic systems, and the students' politics. There are maybe some limitations. There are maybe some restraints. There may be some sort of negative things in the past also. I can confess that. But such level of exclusion totally, just for being a member of Bangladesh Students League, you don't have right to education. You can go to the campus, your certificate will be cancelled, you will be under mob attack, and the whole that that the administration and they are not representing the university or the students or the teachers, they are representing the government. So they are just obeying the mobsters' decisions. So this is the whole scenario of the country right now, and not only our right to education is totally destroyed. If you see the last recent events, one of our activists named Sadiq Mullah, he was involved in our regular political activities in peaceful democratic struggles, and just for being in the procession, that the BNP Jamaat attacked his fathers, attacked his parents, and he is that he is now in a critical situation. In another event in Cox's Bazar, you may heard, and whole Bangladesh, there are lots of news regarding this. Abdur Rahman, one of our activists, he just wrote Joy Bangla in a wall, and there was a fabricated case against him. And after 1 or 2 months, there was a mob attack. There was a threat to his life, to Abdur Rahman and his another friend. And the mother of our activist, Mr. Abdur Rahman, that she came to, to save her son's life. And the attackers, the mob attackers, the BNP Jamaat and CP attackers attacked her mother, Sayeda Khatun, and she is martyred now. So this is happening all over the country. This is a everyday situation. Maybe the situation is more brutal than a war zone. Maybe the Bangladesh became totally a authoritarian state. This is a proof that the situation is such. And that the international community should play a more vital role. And Bangladesh Students League, that 21st February is celebrated worldwide. It is regarded as International Mother's Language Day. And actually, it is pioneered by, it is brought by the movement of Bangladesh Students League. And so
Exactly.
it has a sort of international importance, international recognition, and such vital role in the phase of history. And this students' organization is totally banned now. And but our activists, they are fighting for democracy. They are fighting for restoring their human rights. There may be challenges, yes, obviously, as Bangladesh Students League representative. We are facing challenges where there are lots of events of custodial deaths. There are lots of events of mob attacks and internal displacement. You can't imagine how many people in Bangladesh are internally displaced now. Maybe you are from a village, maybe you are from urban area. And I saw the number here, 5 crore. Actually, it is true that the Awami League related families or the who believes in democracy, in secular values, they are not in their home. They cannot reside there. They can't continue their business. They can't continue their profession. So this is a huge case of internal displacement, actually. And maybe the actual number will astonish the whole international community if they look it attentively.
In the case of Sayeda Khatun, the mother who was murdered because her son is a member of Bangladesh Student League, what did the law enforcement agencies did? Was there any action, any due process? The perpetrators were booked?
In all these cases, inaction is their action, and they didn't take any methods. There are fabricated charges. There are, that our fellow activists, their parents, their relatives, they tried to get this sort of the, law enforcement agencies, but they didn't play any role. And law enforcement agencies is not following any rules or laws. They're just following the directions of the party cadres of BNP and Jamaat activists. So they are actually facilitating the process. The whole law and order situation is totally collapsed in Bangladesh. You are always in the threat of, you are always in the risk of your life. You can lose your life anytime, just in a whim of any activist of Bangladesh Nationalist Party or NCP or Jamaat Islam. So they are actually, they didn't play any role. They are facilitating the process. And this should be discussed also in our civil society organizations and in our international community.
I mean, in the past, we have seen turbulence in Bangladesh. The student politics in Bangladesh was not always peaceful. Uh, if we remember, I mean, Saddam, you should remember the case of Abrar Fahad. And in that case, that student was murdered. And later, Bangladesh Awami League government, when it was in power at that time, Bangladesh Awami League government booked all those people, brought charges, and all of them were sentenced to death. Quite a few of them, if you remember. And now we have seen the people who were involved in that murder case of Abrar Fahad, they are now released. And we now know that Shishir Munir, the Jamaat Islami front runner, okay, he's a front face of Jamaat Islami, one of the prominent young leader of Jamaat Islami. He was the lawyer for all those accused, wasn't it? If you can, tell us about that case a little.
Yeah, yeah. In previous when Awami League government ran the country, when Sheikh Hasina was the prime minister in Bangladesh, there was a rule of law actually. When there is a crime, the government or the party do not take decisions on the basis of party loyalty. And if you watch the case of Abrar Fahad, that, and not only Abrar Fahad, also the case of the Vishwajit. Everyone who is involved in the crime, everyone who is perpetrator, everyone got punished for their crime, and within a short period of time.
Okay, Saddam is having some internet connection problem. Jihan, what do you think about these cases? Is there any due process, law enforcement? What's your thought on, especially on the base law enforcement?
So the all the fabric. Are you talking about the fabricated cases that have
Not
been
just
lost after?
fabricated, there is all cases, that all these atrocities against the members of Bangladesh Student League.
So from an
How the
engineering
law enforcement agencies are responding?
so from a engineering perspective, we call it a multi-vector attack. In a multi-vector attack, the attackers uses multiple sequential tactics to destroy an organization's defense. And this is what is happening to Bangladesh Student League. Because they are being attacked from multiple fronts. Their leadership is being hit, their membership, the financial base, and the overall institutional legitimacy. So the attackers are targeting from multiple fronts to destroy the organization itself. What we are seeing here is a pattern, because law enforcement normally follows evidence, right? And a due process. There has to be evidence, there has to be due process. Even the worst of criminal has a right to fair trial. But what is happening in Bangladesh is far from typical law enforcement activities. Nobody is following the proper process, due process. Fabricated charges are being made, blanket arrest, there are no bail, no trial, and when they are not able to suppress through legal abuse, they are resorting to mob. And the mob is not only attacking Tonoy Bhai, the students. One mother in Panchagor, she was praying. She was on her prayer mat when attackers came from behind and hacked her to death. Her fault, her son is a student league member. What is, out of all this, what is most chilling and revealing is the academic degree cancellation. Because we cannot just randomly cancel degrees. There has to be a process. It is administratively very complex to cancel someone's degree, because the degree is not a privilege. It is earned through hard work, right? It is proof of completed work. So you cannot just take away somebody's certificate. This is economic and social killing, because all these hundreds of thousands of students who were left without certificate, now they will not be able to practice their profession. They will not be able to compete in the job market, and their future is completely bleak right now. And when the state itself is looking away, and in cases is actually enabling, it is really concerning, because because this state had the same machineries before too, when Awami League was in power. Same machineries. Let's take a look at the COVID era. These institutions were used to save lives, and now the same institutions are being used to kill, destroy, and harm lives of students, of millions of students.
I mean, you see, even the women, the female members of Bangladesh Student League, they are not spared.
Right,
And apart
right.
from that,
And now they're using rape as a political weapon. If I saw a news a couple of days back, female was raped, but they will not take charges because she or her family is particularly leaning to Awami League, and she has connection to Student League. So there will be no case lost for her. So now rape is being used as a political weapon. And we all know that Bangladesh is a bit conservative, right?
yeah,
Uh,
exactly. Actually, I mean, what we know about Bangladesh Student League, yes, there are conservative elements in Bangladesh. However, Bangladesh Student League is the beacon of progressiveness
right.
because the motto it has: education, peace, and progressiveness. That's what Bangladesh Student League is. So whatever progressive happened in Bangladesh, that including the independence of Bangladesh, happened through Bangladesh Student League member. In 1971, during our War of Independence, it was the members of Bangladesh Student League, okay, who they were at the forefront. They are
And
the
also, like,
first victim.
throughout history, whenever Bangladesh faced any undemocratic challenges from undemocratic forces, student leagues were there as the vanguard.
Exactly. And what we actually in Bangladesh, okay, they're the defense line of secularism as well. That against fundamentalism, because we know that UNIS government and the government we have right now, okay, the government we have right now is not just Bangladesh Nationalist Party. It is a government of, it is an extension of Muhammad Yunus's government, which is, it's like Jamaat Islami, the conservative fundamentalists, hard right Islamists, they and BNP, they're just, it's an acting going on. It's a drama of, a government, a ruling party, and you have the opposition party. But behind the door, they're all together. And
And
again,
Tonoy bhai, it's what surprises me is that, for insignificant incident like Hero Alom, these human rights organizations, the sin that they would cause before, and now we are having mother being killed, and they are not taking any action. The international communities are not doing their fair share, because this is the young population, the future of Bangladesh we are talking, and these international communities are nowhere.
there are many international organizations. They says Bangladeshi Student League is a violent organization because of some violent activism that happened in the past. But now we are realizing it, that those action was actually done by Jamaat Islami, Jamaat Shibir. Their student wing, Islami Chhatra Shibir, did those things. Now they're openly in media in Bangladesh. They are saying, okay, we had to do those violent acts to defend, to defame Bangladesh Student League. Because if you do not defame Bangladesh Student League, you cannot erase secularism from Bangladesh.
Right.
They're saying to bring a Islamic Sharia ruling in Bangladesh, you will have to defame Bangladesh Student League. So they perpetrated it inside Bangladesh Student League, and that Abrar Fahad, that killing, is a burning example.
Now,
That
these 500,000 students are not in their home, and the killers of Abrar Fahar were set free by the Yunus government, if I'm not mistaken.
yeah, I think Saddam is still having some technical difficulties. He was saying earlier that they have problem with internet, and given what the situation he is in, it's very normal for him.
It's a living proof
Okay,
of what the
so for Saddam, where he was, the Wi-Fi wasn't working, and he was using mobile data, and the network, his network is very bad. But we'll continue. We'll know. We understand that the severity, severity. And Saddam said Saddam may try without a video, and that he is welcome for that too. Because the stories he has, it is worth listening. We must, like, the young people, entire generation, their all their aspiration, their
I have heard one thing is
achievement.
that the EU Asylum Authority, they are now granting asylum. Like being a member of BSL is something that qualify you to get asylum, because how student league members are being persecuted.
No, this is exactly where that the violence, okay, they systematically defame Bangladesh Student League. Let's say the Abrar Fahad, that incident, killing incident in Bangladesh University of Technology. What happened was that Abrar Fahad was killed by some of the students of Bangladesh University of Technology, and there was a rumor that these people were the member of Bangladesh Student League. These people, they're convicted, they are sentenced. Many of them were sentenced to death for that killing in an educational institution. However, after 5th August 2024, one of the first thing Yunus government, Jamaat Islami, which is the government of Jamaat Islami, did was released all of those convicted criminals. And now we know that Shishir Munir, the prominent youth leader of Jamaat Islami, was their lawyer. What else you have about Bangladesh Student League? What's happening is, Jihan, that when do these people have any way to go to a court of justice to seek justice?
There
And why
is
not?
no justice, there is no law, there is no nothing called justice in Bangladesh at this very moment. The whole judiciary was destroyed overnight after August 5th. So there is no judiciary. They don't have a right. They are left completely rightless. So that is why the international communities, I keep saying, have a duty here. We need follow-up action, not some statements, and then which is not followed by any action. We have seen before there were sanctions and whatnot, but now there is nothing, as if these lives don't matter to them. And we, the diaspora, who are living in Europe, America, and elsewhere in the world, we have a duty. We need to write to our representative, keep writing, ask for statements from them in support of Bangladesh Student League, in support of Bangladesh Awami League. We need to keep asking our representative to pressure the foreign government to actually have some realistic action. Because as we are seeing today in this show, the president of Student League, he is in exile. His life is complex, right? He does not have Wi-Fi. Why? Because he is not living in fun. He is struggling with his life. And hundreds of thousands of students like that are suffering. Female students are being picked up from exam halls and then kicked out by mobs. Those who did not were
I
not
mean,
even in. But
I mean,
you
still,
were you participated in politics before. You did student
yeah,
politics
I was a
during your
member of
time.
Bangladesh Student League, and that's I'm very proud of that.
But have you ever seen such environment before?
Even in this situation, Bangladesh Student League, the members of Bangladesh Student League are so brave and so courageous that we have seen posts on social media that the members of Bangladesh Student League, they are going helping the farmers to harvest. This is the season of harvest, and rain is a matter, and excessive rain can ruin the harvest. And there is other thing which is very problematic for Bangladesh right
Also,
now.
they were the front
That's the,
fighters during COVID. During COVID, when people did not have family members participating in the ritual
exactly.
of death, Student League was there. They were in the Janaja
I mean,
prayers.
what this is something I miss. Uh, like 2 years ago, even 2 years ago, we used to see lots of volunteer organizations in Bangladesh helping out people. They are educating the street children. They are going to the farmers. They are feeding the poor on the street. They are helping the homeless in the winter, distributing blankets. In the past 2 years, I do not see these people. I knew many of them because they used to come to me, and I used to make small donations to them so they can do their work. And in the past 2 years, uh, these people, they do not come to me anymore. And
Probably
it is
these
some.
people
I
probably
was
have some.
surprised. I was surprised that, hey guys, did you stop your good work, the charities? And some of them responded to me that, well, we are hunted. I'm not living at home. I'm living in a different district. Some said, okay, I had to flee the country because I was a member of Bangladesh Student League.
And also the
And that
country.
I realized that these are the boys doing charities.
We just
Are
recently
from
had
Bangladesh
another
Student
Eid, right? Eid, a big festival. On Eid,
League.
people enjoy with their
Exactly.
family. What are happening to these
Exactly.
families?
And the families, we had Eid festival. I know many members of Bangladesh Student League during the Eid festival. Eid is something very big in Bangladesh. Okay, we like the whole family comes together. Yeah, also the puja, the uh, Hindu worship. But the members of Bangladesh Student League, okay, they are not celebrating like celebration, life, families, justice,
For
everything is taken away
there are families where,
from
for
these
example, there is only one
young
son.
people.
So one son is the one uh, earning capable family member. Now that son is not there at home. What Eid that mother or father of that son has? No Eid. This is
Mm.
no Eid.
I mean, even female, they're suffering from sexual violence for being a member of Bangladesh Student League. And worse is that they cannot seek justice. This is unprecedented. It didn't happen in Bangladesh before. It is happening now.
Right.
The cancellation of certificate, we have seen the members of Islami Chhatra Shibir even. Those who are in the universities now, the members of Islamic Chhatra Shibir, they were in the university during the ruling of Bangladesh Awami League.
Yeah,
No
yeah.
one
So how did
ever,
they survive? Because
no one, because education is a right. The state of Bangladesh decided and always had this policy that no matter what, the fundamental rights such as education, should not be taken away from anyone because of their political ideologies.
It does look like that somebody is backstage. I'm not sure whether this is Saddam.
That was
Let me
Rana Appa. Let's please
let me
welcome
let
Rana.
me bring him in and see.
No, okay, that's Sharup. Okay, that's not the right person. We are expecting Rana Meher, an educator from the UK, and since she is an educator, she made a lot of student league members who left Bangladesh and entered the UK, and she knows a few stories that she wanted to tell us. Our day today, it's one of those bad days that the internet connection, and also let's not forget that the South Asia right now, this is the time of hailstorm, so internet can go up and down, but Saddam will be joining us very soon. Not today, but in some other next episode or episode after. We are planning an episode with the president of Bangladesh Student League and the president of Bangladesh Awami Jubo League, because this organization, Bangladesh Awami Jubo League, which is the organization of people over 30 in Bangladesh, from 30 to 55, they are also heavily persecuted, because these are the people from Bangladesh's economy depends on the young people. And Bangladesh had a very excellent demographic for economic point of view. That 67% of Bangladesh's total population is young, and these people 30 to 55, they are the engine of the workforce. And the economic down Bangladesh having right now, it's also because of this persecution, because Awami Jubilee members, they are also heavily persecuted, losing their jobs, losing businesses. Joining us now, Ms. Rana Meher. Ms. Rana Meher is an educator from United Kingdom. Ranapa, what do you know about this persecution of uh, Bangladesh Student League? Like being an educator, how do you feel as well?
Thank you, Tonoy. Thank you, Jihan. I was listening to you too, and you two are doing so well. And before I start anything about what I think about Chhatra League or the student organization that we are talking about, I have a confession to make. You were talking about some violence that took place by the name of Chhatra League. And for a long period of time, I bought this. I bought this. I believed that many of the violent things being done by Chhatra League, and Chhatra League needs to do this and that. And of course, after 5th of August, it was an eye opener when I saw even the, what's his name, Sadiq Kayem, the Daksu leader of Dhaka University. He was the
Yes.
member of Chhatra League as well, if I can correctly recall. So it was an eye opener. So if anybody from Chhatra League listening to me, please accept my apology for believing those very terrible, very violent lies. And Tonoy, coming back to your question, as an educator, it makes me not only immensely sad, it also it enraged me thinking some students, just because of their political affiliation with an organization, that organization is not only the largest student organization in Bangladesh, I think it is the largest student organization in South Asia. Am I right? Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
So they, sorry.
So it
Yes,
is.
exactly.
Yes, so they are being persecuted unlawfully because of their affiliation with the student organization, which was directly involved of the birth of Bangladesh, of the birth of the country. And you guys were talking about, and Saddam, when he was here, he was talking about how the students lost their studentship, how the student wing itself, how the party itself was banned without any kind of political scrutiny, how many of the students' future, their whole life is in stake because of their affiliation. So it is not only makes me sad, let me repeat it again, it makes me angry because how unlawful, how tragic the whole procedure is. And Tona, can I just quickly add something as well? We know many of the Chhatra League members, they come from a very modest family. So maybe they were the only hope for this family that they will do something good with their education, and when they join, when they start with their career, they will look after the family. So I'm just wondering, by persecuting by persecuting Chhatra League, they are not only destroying those students' life, those students' career, they are basically destroying their families as well. So this is something unacceptable. This is something unbelievable. Thank you, Tonai.
I mean, if some of them did something wrong, it can be handled by the criminal justice system, because Bangladesh had, not anymore, Bangladesh had a very good criminal justice system capable of handling any sort of crimes. And what's happening right now is one of the worst thing, collective punishment. You cannot punish, no nation, no government can punish 500,000 students collectively.
And
This is
Tonai,
a crime against humanity.
exactly, Tonai, can I ask you, can I ask you, is the word punishment the right word or not? Because punishment is something when you receive as a consequence of doing something wrong. But what is happening with the student league? It is not a punishment. I don't know what name will be the most suitable one for it, but I will.
It's persecution. It's the
Persecution is the correct word.
systematic state-sanctioned persecution, vendetta, vendetta, because these young people gave birth to Bangladesh. These are the people defeated the murderous Pakistani regime in 1971. These are the people who bring the war criminals who killed 3 million Bengali people in 1971 and raped 200,000 women to justice.
Not only that, since 1971, every single movement that took place in Bangladesh, every
Against that
single,
undemocratic forces, right? Like
exactly,
1990, 2008.
exactly, 1990, against
Exactly.
any kind of undemocratic ruler or any kind of, even with any natural disasters, those boys and girls were the first one to join in and jump in to do something about it. And those boys and girls now, where are they? They're nowhere. They're nowhere to be seen.
So, Ranapa, I understand that probably during the so-called interim government, there was this Yunus factor, right? They were selling Yunus as this pro-Western, highly reputable person on the world stage. So probably there was this Yunus factor. That's why the international community stayed a bit silent. But now my question is, I am surprised. Where are they? Where are their actions?
Um, Jihan,
How? What we can do actually to force them, to
um,
persuade them to take action, meaningful action?
um, Jihan, I'm sorry if I sound a bit rude. I do not give the international community this kind of immunity because Muhammad Yunus was a Nobel laureate. Many of the people, I'm not mentioning name, many of the people with lots of question, lots of conspiracy, they won the Nobel Prize. And Nobel Prize does not give anybody immunity of doing anything else. So international community should have done something long ago. The persecution of Student League, Awami League, it started 5th of August, not even 5th of August, one of the first person died in that July 24 fiasco was one of the Chhatra League member,
From
Shobuj.
Dhaka College, from my college, Dhaka
Yeah,
College, Sabuj.
Shobuj, yeah, Shobuj Mia or someone. So Chhatra League and Army League were being targeted since July. So even after this, even after 5th of August, and even after that very famous event report that Muhammad Yunus and BNP Jamaat, they read it every single morning and they come up with something about it. Even that report, it was mentioned how people were murdered after 5th of August till 15th or 20th. So if that could not wake up the international community because of the Nobel Prize of Muhammad Yunus, then I am not quite sure the international community they are in question if they are capable of doing or being in there. So I'm not going to give them this immunity.
But
And
these same communities were like would raise havoc during the time of Awami League government.
sorry.
When they were like during the time of Awami League government, they would create a massive scene with the slightest disturbance in human rights.
Of course. Even if you remember, even with Chhatra League, if they have done something wrong, or even they did not do something wrong, but somehow they did something, uh, the international community and the civil society of Bangladesh, they were always there to criticize. And I actually welcome it. That's why the civil society is there. That's why the international community is there. If any wrongdoing taking place, they should open up and they should say something about it. But as you mentioned, the double standard of it. When Army League and Chhatra League was in question, they were very vocal, and now, since August 2024, there is silence of gold in everywhere. So, yeah, it's a double standard. Sorry.
Thank you, Rana. Thank you, Rana Meher. We are coming to an end of this discussion today. Our time is almost over. Saddam will be joining us, not today, in an episode very soon. What we risk without Bangladeshi Student League? We risk secularism and democracy. If they want to turn Bangladesh into a failed state, if they want to make it a terrorist haven, what Bangladesh is becoming right now, it has been reported by media, credible media like Australia Today. They will have to persecute Bangladesh Student League because Bangladesh Student League, the members of Bangladesh Student League are secular in ideology and secular in heart and defender of democracy. This is what we risk today: secularism and democracy. I thank the audience for joining us today. We'll see you next time, Sunday, 10:30 p.m. Bangladesh. Thank you very much.